Good morning, everyone. My name is Judge Christy Ruppe, and you're all here this morning for first appearance. The purpose of this hearing is to inform you of the charges against you and determine whether there is probable cause for your arrest. Probable cause only means that it's more likely than not that you committed the crime in which you've been arrested. As you appear before me today, you're considered not guilty of what you've been charged with, and that status will remain with you through each stage of these proceedings up until changed by the state attorney's office if they prove the case against you beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. In all likelihood, you were arrested on a warrant or a new charge. Either way, you were given a bond pursuant to the bond schedule for the 5th Judicial Circuit. I will determine whether to keep that bond the same, increase it, decrease it, or whether there are any other conditions of pretrial release which will be imposed upon you. I will also determine this morning whether you would like to hire a private attorney, whether you'd like to represent yourself, or whether you'd like the assistance of the Public Defender's Office. If you cannot afford to have an attorney represent you, in this case, then I will appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you. You are entitled to make a phone call to let friends, family, or your counsel know where you are. If you haven't had the opportunity to make that phone call yet, please let me know. I'll make sure you get that phone call today. Finally, and most importantly, you have the right to remain silent, and I encourage you to do so. These hearings are recorded, and there is an assistant state attorney in this courtroom writing down everything that you say. So anything you say about the facts of your case can and will be held against you in the prosecution of your case down the road. At this time, I'd like everyone to raise your right hand so I can place you under oath.
Raise your right hand.
Solemnly swear or affirm the testimony before the court will be the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth. Go ahead and put your hands down. As I call your name, please come forward to the podium. Lori Johnson. Good morning, Ms. Johnson. Can I have your date of birth?
9/12/62.
Okay, you are here today for a domestic battery charge. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want to represent yourself, or are you going to hire somebody, or do you want the Public Defender's Office to represent you?
Public Defender.
Okay, I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office. The state, do we have a prior record?
Your Honor, in 2007, there was a possession of alprazolam, possession of hydrocodone, possession of marijuana. In 2008, it looks like she failed to register as a felon, and that's all that I show as far as a history.
Okay. All right, Ms. Johnson, I have address for you on Mariner Boulevard in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
9 years.
Okay. Do you have a job?
No, I take care of my grandkids.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to set your bond at $500, Ms. Johnson, but as a condition of bond, I'm going to order that you have no contact with the victims in this case, okay? So you cannot call, write, or email. Do not have anyone else call, write, or email.
Okay.
Antonio Molina, right? You
Yeah.
cannot have any contact with him whatsoever, okay? If you have any contact with him while this case is pending, then you can be charged with another crime and held without bond. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We're going to see you back to court on May 16th at 9 a.m.
Okay.
Okay, and Ms. Johnson, I need to hold you until 4 o'clock today in case Mr. Molina wants to file an injunction against you, okay? An injunction will be a civil document signed by another judge indicating how many feet you need to stay away from Mr. Molina, where he lives, where he works. If you do get served with that by 4 o'clock today, you want to make sure to read that very carefully, okay?
Okay.
Okay, we'll see you back on May 16th. Make sure to reach out to the Public Defender. Sorry. Jeffrey Batts. Mr. Batts, can I have your date of birth?
7/26/82.
You are here today for possession of methamphetamine. The bond is currently $2,000. The possession of marijuana, the bond is currently $1,000. And possession of drug paraphernalia, the bond is currently $1,000. I did find probable cause for your arrest on each of those. Do you want to represent yourself? Do you want to hire somebody? Or do you want the Public Defender's Office?
Public Defender.
I'll appoint the Public Defender's Office to represent you, State.
Yes, Your Honor. It looks like we've got some charges from 2013 out of Jacksonville. Battery, second offense, which may have been reduced to a misdemeanor. giving a false name or identification, and let's see, that was in 2011, 2010. Looks like criminal mischief. I'm sorry. 2010, an escape on a fugitive extradition out of Illinois. 2010, resisting without violence and giving a false name. 2007, he was released from the Department of Corrections. Looks like that might have been on uttering a forged instrument. That's also from 2007. A couple of those, plus forgery. He also has charges out of, I know I said Illinois, looks like possibly West Virginia.
Okay. Mr. Batts, I have an address here in Evergreen Ave in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
8 months.
I'm sorry, how long? A month?
8 months.
8 months? Okay. Do you have a job?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
I work for Eddie Shaw.
Okay. All right. Count number 1, I'm going to set your bond at $4,000. Count number 2 is $2,000. And count number 3 is $2,000. We'll see you back to court on May 29th at 1:15. And if you're unable to bond out, someone from the Public Defender's Office will be out to see you, okay? Luis Fernandez?
Morning.
Good morning, Mr. Fernandez. Can I have your date of birth?
4/21/71.
Okay, you were here this morning for a burglary. And I guess it's part of the charges that you were arrested for over the weekend. You have another charge from over the weekend, and this is part of that, I guess. So I did find probable cause for your arrest. Did you get the public defender on your other charge?
Yes.
Okay, we'll appoint the public defender on this case as well, okay? And we're going to keep the bond the same, and we're going to see you back to court on 5/21 at 8:30. I believe that's the same date you got over the weekend. We're going to keep you in front of the same judge, okay? So we'll see you back on May 21st.
Your Honor,
What was that found again, Judge?
It's 10,000.
which judge was that in front of? I have, yes, okay. Sorry, I was looking at the wrong one. That's the one I have that it needs to be. Thank you.
Jakari Jones.
Good morning.
Can I have your date of birth, please?
March 23rd, 1991.
Okay, you were here today for obstruction, battery, and criminal mischief. Bonds are $7,000, no bond, and $1,000. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Did you want to represent yourself? You're going to hire somebody, or do you want the public defender's office?
Oh, could you repeat the bar for me?
Yeah, Judge, I believe that's 2,000 on the first one. Not 7.
Excuse me, Your Honor.
What?
Could you repeat the bar for me? I didn't hear you that clear.
Yeah, we're working on that. It looks like 7,000 to me, but the PD's office is saying that's 2,000.
Yeah,
So there's obstruction. It looks like it's 2,000. Battery is no bond at all, and criminal mischief is 1,000. But I'm making a bond determination now, so those
Yeah.
bonds don't really matter until I decide what the bonds are going to be.
Yes, ma'am.
Do you? We ordered the public defender.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'll appoint the public defender's office. State prior record.
Your Honor, he has a juvenile charge from 2013 of possession of marijuana and paraphernalia. That's all. It looks like he just turned 18. Oh, no, I'm sorry, 19.
Okay. Mr. Jones, I have an address for you on Constitution Drive in Brooksville. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am. That's my new apartment.
How long have you lived there?
I only lived there a couple of days.
How long have you lived in Hernando County?
A total of 10 years.
10 years? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we're going to keep count 1, the obstruction charge at $2,000. We're going to set the battery charge at $2,000, and we're going to set the criminal mischief charge at $2,000. We're going to see you back to court on May 29th at 1:15. I'm going to order that you have no contact with Crystal DeLuca. Do not call her, do not write her, do not email her, do not have anyone else call her, write her, or email her. If she calls
Yes,
you,
ma'am.
you should hang up the phone. If you see her out somewhere, you should turn around and go the other way. If you have any
Yes,
contact with Crystal while this case is pending, you could be charged with another crime and held without bond. Do you understand that, Jakari?
Yes, ma'am. I have a question.
Sure.
I was wondering how I could get my electric turned off in the apartment, get my key, my phone, and all my furniture.
Okay, well, I'm not going to advise you on any of those things. You can speak to your attorney about that, okay? I'm going to hold you
Okay, I
until,
was just trying to avoid trouble.
I'm going to hold you until 4 o'clock today in case Crystal wants to file an injunction against you. If she does file that injunction against you, it will be very specific as to how many feet you need to stay away from her, her house, her car, or anywhere else where she may frequent. And
ma'am.
that will be in front of another judge, but you want to make sure to read that very carefully. So we're going to hold till 4. No contact with Crystal. We'll see you back May 29th at 1:15.
Ma'am, I have another one. Do you think I could get a phone call to my mom to let her know where I am?
If you haven't had a phone call yet, you'll be able to get that phone call today.
All right.
Durfeck Newberry. I guess it's supposed to be Derek, but they put an F on that in the. So Derek Newberry. I thought it was Russian or something. Can I have your date of birth?
11/21/82.
Okay. You are here today for a sale of controlled substance, possession of a structure for the purpose of the sale of a controlled substance, and possession of controlled substance. The bonds are $5,000, $5,000, and $2,000 right now. I did find probable cause for your arrest. Do you want me to appoint the public defender's office?
Please.
Okay. I'll appoint the public defender's office. State prior record.
Yes, Your Honor. In 2013, there was possession of a new legend drug, a failure to appear, looks like a misdemeanor-based paraphernalia, in (2011) out of Citrus County. You have a possession of paraphernalia and a resisting without violence. In 2007, out of Citrus County, a failure to appear for a felony offense that was dismissed. 2006, a violation of probation out of Citrus County. On a disorderly conduct, it appears, or he registered as a felon in 2006. In 2006, there was also a burglary of an unoccupied structure and a criminal mischief. 2003, a failure to appear on a misdemeanor charge, which was possession of alcohol by a person under 21. Citrus County, 2003, a trespassing and resisting without. 2002, possession under 21. 2001, possession under 21, and resisting without violence. And then he has some juvenile charges. Most of these are out of Citrus County, and then there's a juvenile charge out of Tarpon Springs.
Okay. Mr. Newberry, I have an address here on Apple Orchard Road in Spring Hill. Is that where you live?
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you lived there?
A few years.
Okay. Do you have a job?
Yes, ma'am.
What kind of work do you do?
I do maintenance.
Okay.
I do lawn maintenance, and also my boss owns a bunch of rental houses. I just got the job a couple days ago. I don't know.
Okay. All right, perfect. So I'm going to keep the bond account number 1 at $5,000. Keep the bond account number 2 at $5,000. Account number 3 is going to be $5,000. That's a total of $15,000. We're going to see you back to court on May 29th at 1:15 in the afternoon. Okay?
Yes, ma'am. Did they go up?
The last one did, yes, based on your prior record. Stephanie Russ.
Morning.
Can I have your date of birth?
3/12/78.
All right. You are here today for a failure to appear in front of Judge Merritt on April 17th of this year for a whole bunch of drug charges. So I did find probable cause for your arrest. Did you have the public defender in that case already?
I believe so.
Okay, I'll appoint the public defender's office as well. The total bond is $20,000. It's 4,000, 4,000, 4,000, 4,000, 2,000, and 2,000. We're going to keep all the bonds the same, and we're going to see you back on May 29th at 1:15. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Emmett Dingus. Hi, Emmett. Can I have your date of birth?
February the 15th, 1958.
All right. You are here. I guess you were here over the weekend in front of Judge Uhrman, and you have an out-of-state warrant. It looks like out of Virginia.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right. And did you talk to Judge Uhrman about waiving extradition?
No, we didn't discuss that.
Okay. So here's the deal: is that you have two options here today. It looks like Virginia wants you because you have some serious charges out of Virginia. It looks like involuntary manslaughter, carrying concealed firearm, and the charge of maiming. So it looks like they want to, they have a warrant out for your arrest, and they're willing to extradite you. So you have two choices here today. The first thing is you can waive that extradition hearing. We will hold you in custody there at the Hernando County jail for up to 60 days until we get that hearing set. And then someone from Virginia would come down here and tell us that you are, they would have to prove to us that you are the right person that they have a warrant for and that they have a valid warrant for your arrest. Once they prove those things, then they would be able to take you into their custody. Your second option is that you can put them on the clock right now and give them 15 days to decide whether they want to come get you. And that would be waiving extradition. Which one would you like to do?
I think I need counsel.
Okay, well, you're not entitled to counsel here because you're not charged with anything here. You can get counsel when you get up to Virginia. So do you want to wait in our jail for 60 days while we set that hearing, or do you want to put Virginia on the clock right now and give them 15?
Well, if I'm not being charged with anything, why am I here?
Sir, you're here because you have an active warrant out of Virginia for the charges that I've already announced to you. We will hold you in our custody for 60 days if you want to have an extradition hearing in 60 days. Is that what you would like to do? Or would you like to put Virginia on the clock now and give them 15 days to decide whether they'd like to come get you?
I'll put them on the clock.
Okay, we're going to have you sign a piece of paper. We'll put them on the clock. We'll give them 15 days. If they don't decide to come get you within that next 15 days, they'll bring you back in front of me, and we'll go from there, okay? Okay. Did I get everyone at the jail? Yes, ma'am. All right. Have a good day.